You're on.
Okay, welcome to County Court at Law number 6 in the Bexar County Veterans Treatment Court by remote. It is approximately 14:20 hours, 2:20 p.m. on Thursday, the 19th of November, year of our Lord 2020. We have some pleas today, and we have some motions to revoke probation. Did we find Mr. Finch yet?
Here, Judge.
Are you with us today?
I was a little bit late, Judge. Sorry, on another court. Here I am.
No problem whatsoever. Just want to make sure you're here. Okay, initially, let's take up the pleas with regard to cause number 649151, State of Texas versus Michael Oosterkamp, and cause 621736, State of Texas versus Patricia Blackwell, which is a Bexar County Veterans Treatment Court Track 1 plea and probation agreement, pretrial diversion. Mr. Vasquez, are you with us today?
I'm right here, Judge. I can hear you.
Okay. And you ready on Mr. Oosterkamp?
We are both ready. He is also present.
And Mr. Finch, you ready on Ms. Blackwell?
I am, Your Honor, and she's present as well.
All good. And cause 649151, State of Texas versus Michael Oosterkamp, and cause 621736, State of Texas versus Patricia Blackwell. Mr. Oosterkamp and Ms. Blackwell, I'm holding in front of you documents entitled Defendant's Waiver of Constitutional Rights and Court's Admonitions that purport to have your signature on the back, effectively waiving certain constitutional rights you must waive in order to enter a plea before this court. In fact, Mr. Oosterkamp, is this your signature on this document, sir?
Yes, sir.
And Ms. Blackwell, is this your signature on this document, ma'am?
Yes, sir.
By signing these documents, are each of you telling me that you've had enough time to either read these documents or have them read to you in their entirety? If you had any questions about what was on these documents, those questions were answered to your satisfaction by your attorneys. So that
Yes.
in signing documents, you're telling me that you agree with and understand everything on these documents. Is that correct, Mr. Oosterkamp?
Yes, sir.
Is that correct, Ms. Blackwell?
That is correct.
Thank you, ma'am. As attorney for Mr. Oosterkamp, Mr. Vasquez, have you had enough time to go over this case with him? And in your opinion, is he mentally competent?
I have, and he is.
Same question for Mr. Finch as attorney for Ms. Blackwell.
I have, Your Honor, and she is.
Mr. Oosterkamp, are you a United States citizen, sir?
Yes, sir.
Same question for Ms. Blackwell.
Yes, I am.
Mr. Vasquez, as attorney for Mr. Oosterkamp, has the state fully complied with discovery for you on this case?
They have.
Same question for Mr. Finch as attorney for Ms. Blackwell.
They have, Judge.
Okay, let me hold short on that. And now I've got another document I want y'all to identify for me. And this one is entitled Defendant's Consent to Plea by Video Conference. I have one on Mr. Oosterkamp, which is allegedly signed both by him and his attorney, Mr. Vasquez. Mr. Oosterkamp, is this your signature on this document, sir?
Yes, sir.
And Mr. Vasquez, is this your signature on this document, sir?
It is.
Same document for Ms. Blackwell. Defendant's consent to plea by video conference purportedly has both her signature and Mr. Finch's signature as her attorney. Is this your signature on this document, Ms. Blackwell?
Yes, sir.
And Mr. Finch, is this your signature as attorney for Ms. Blackwell?
It is, Judge.
Okay, back on Mr. Oosterkamp to the charge of driving, and this is a great DWI first offense, correct state, or do we have to do some motions to get to first offense?
The state moves to waive the .15 enhancement and proceed on a DWI first.
Okay, stand by.
No objection.
I imagine not. State's motion to waive the greater than .15 enhancement is granted. Therefore, this is now a driving while intoxicated first offense case. Mr. Oosterkamp, for the charge of driving while intoxicated first offense, how do you plead, sir? Either guilty or no contest is my understanding.
No, I don't contest. Sorry, this is all new to me. I'm trying to figure.
It was no contest how we filled it out on the paperwork, Judge.
Yeah. That's right. Yeah. I'm sorry.
Okay, Mr. Vasquez, are we pleading no contest? Is that correct?
That is correct.
Court accepts the plea of no contest to the offense of driving while intoxicated first offense. Is there an agreement in this case, state?
Yes, Judge. It is 6 months probated for 12 months. $400 fine plus court costs. 36 hours of community service. DWI education, DIP, CATSNP, Smart Start Mobile for half the term. and restitution, if any, to Timothy Poff.
That T is in Tango, Timothy.
Yes,
And last name is what again?
Poff.
T is in Papa, OSS.
Off.
Oh, P is in Papa, O, Foxtrot, Poff.
Yes, Judge.
Mr. Oosterkamp knows what I'm spelling.
Yes, sir.
Did Mr. Oosterkamp have insurance at the time of this accident?
He did, Judge, and he does. I forwarded that information over to Nick. USAA is taking care of everything.
And my understanding is Mr. Oosterkamp is a veteran of the United States military. Is that correct?
He is, Judge, and he is set to depart on Monday for Iraq. And just for the record, Judge, if I may, this is a case that Michael and I have gone over in detail. I explained to him the Veterans Treatment Court and also his predicament with him leaving so quickly for Iraq. And we both decided, obviously his decision, he decided that this is the route he wants to go. He didn't want to delay this case any longer. So that's why we're proceeding as quickly as we are.
Mr. Oosterkamp, what did you do when you were active duty in the U.S. military, sir?
I was in Marine infantry. I did 3 combat tours to Iraq and 1 combat tour to Afghanistan. I got out, and then I worked for the Department of State as a military contractor. We do right now I'm a range master, firearms instructor, but we do all the fun stuff, I guess.
What units were you in when you were active duty? I missed that.
Did I do what now?
What unit were you in?
Oh, so I was 3-7 for a while, and then I was over in Miramar. 3-7s with 29 Palms. And then I was in Miramar, and then I was in Camp Ellington with 2-5 before I got out.
Were you a Marine? Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Well, A, thanks for your service. B, we're going to probate his community service based on his military service. Correct me if I'm wrong, Mr. Vasquez. Everybody's understanding is the court is going to grant Mr. Oosterkamp permission to go to Iraq as a contractor where he's going to serve, I think, as a small arms instructor. Is that kind of what you're doing, Mr.
Yes, sir.
Okay. And you're leaving this month and you're going to come back sometime in February 2021. Is that correct?
Correct, sir.
Okay. And at the time he comes back, how long do you plan on being on the ground in San Antonio that you can work on your probation requirement?
So I do a 84-42 rotation. So when I come back, I'll have 42 days in the States.
Okay.
But I can get that extended if I need to.
Is Susan on with us today? I see her. Susan, are there things, I assume Mr. Oosterkamp's going to have access to internet over there, are you not?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. That's where I'm going to be doing all of the, thankfully, the online courses that we have to do now.
Perfect. Mr. Gross, what I would like you to do is brief up Mr. Oosterkamp before he leaves with regard to what possible courses he can take online. We want to work with him as much as possible and let him knock out whatever he can knock out from over there. There's not a whole lot else to do over there. Get shot at and knock out your probation courses.
Judge, just to give you an update, he has completed the victim impact panel already. I did forward that to Susan. She's just unable to update the system since he's not officially on probation yet. But I did forward the certificate to her.
Okay.
And he's already, Michael, have you already enrolled in the DWI education course?
Yeah, I've already enrolled. I've done all the pre-tests. I've done everything but the meat and potatoes. I have two weeks of quarantine. As soon as I touch in Erbil, Iraq, I'm literally doing nothing. So I'm going to take that time to just sit there and do all of it.
So, Judge, he's already started the classes, as you can tell.
And also, Judge, it'll have to be the VTC people that updates him and gives him all the bells and whistles because he's not a probation case. He's a VTC case, so it needs to come from Ron and that team.
Okay, he's not a VTC case.
He's not. Oh, okay. I'm sorry, I misunderstood.
This is collateral VTC or VTC light. This is he's still a good guy even though he's a Marine and he gets credit for all that. So he's not technically eligible for the VTC because he's not around long enough to do that properly. But we're going to cut him as much slack as we can, and his attorney apparently has already done that, and let him deploy. So he's going to be on double secret probation in Iraq, where you can't really drink when you're in Iraq anyway, is my understanding. Is that correct, Mr. Oosterkamp, or do you know?
Yes, sir. Nope, zero tolerance. We don't, our company does not allow any liquor whatsoever, or alcohol whatsoever.
Still subject to UCMJ or the requirements of
Well, it's a little bit, actually, it's a little bit more strict. It's Department of State, so it goes straight to federal and all that stuff.
there's not a whole lot worse things I can do to you than send you to Iraq. So I guess you're going to get punished well enough. All right, thanks for getting everything down here. Move to Rooster Comp. The court accepts your plea of no contest to driving while intoxicated first offense. I find you guilty. I said 6 months in the Bear County Jail, probated for 1 month. 1 year. A $400 fine plus court costs. 36 hours community service, probating all that based on your military service. DWI education, DWI victim impact panel that you get credit for you did proactively. Community lines for traffic safety new intervention program. Smart Start mobile device for half the term, although it's going to be suspended while you are in Iraq or on military missions subject to DOD control. I'm going to waive the Smart Start mobile device because you're going to be covered by the in-country requirement not to consume alcohol, or you get in trouble over there too. When he comes back within, let's say, 72 hours, Paul?
Yes, Judge. If I can give you those dates, Judge. He's set to leave November 23rd and return February 16th.
So by February 19th, within 72 hours of his return, he needs to contact his probation officer. And within 5 or 10 days, we'll get him on a Smart Start mobile and do that. We'll work with him. I understand he's going to be 42 days with us and then back to Iraq again. Is that kind of where we're at, Mr. Oosterkamp?
Yes, sir.
All right, so we get as much done as he can while he's here, and then I'm going to let him go back. He'll need permission each time he goes. It's not just blanket permission. You got to give us notice that you're going. I will certainly let you go, and thank you for your service in doing that. But we'll try to do as much of this as we can on the internet, and then when you're here with us instead of over there. Fair enough?
Judge,
Yeah.
are you going to allow him to report by mail from over there, or do you want him to report by Zoom?
He can report by internet or mail, Zoom, whatever's easiest on him. How's that?
Okay, can you please put that on his application?
Sure.
And also, Mr. Osterkamp, I'm the black square with a big white square in the middle with the address on it. You need
Yes,
to
ma'am.
tomorrow morning at 10 o'clock. They're going to read over your conditions. You're going to sign all your paperwork, and they're going to give you all your instructions and tell you who your probation officer is, okay?
Yes, ma'am. So I need to be at that address at 10 o'clock in the
Yes.
morning?
Yes, it's the main headquarters for probation is right across the street from the jail. It's a 4-story building.
Okay, I will be there.
Okay, let me continue. Restitution, if any, to Timothy Poff, P as in Papa, O, F, F, Foxtrot, Foxtrot. Okay. Mr. Vasquez, what did I miss?
How was everything, Judge?
Mr. Wright, what did I miss?
You got it all, Judge.
Ms. Gross, what did I miss?
I think that's it, Judge.
Have as nice a day as you can have in Iraq, sir. Thanks for your service.
Thank you.
Okay, that takes care of Mr. Oosterkamp. Ms. Blackwell, this is a Bear County Veterans Treatment Court Track 1 pretrial diversion plea and probation agreement in clause 621736, dated Texas versus Patricia Blackwell. To the charge of driving while intoxicated with a blood or breath alcohol content of 0.15 or higher, how do you plead?
I was told I didn't have to plea.
You're going to have to plead.
Okay, no contest.
State, is it okay with you if I accept the plea of no contest?
That's fine.
Fair enough. The court accepts your plea of no contest. I hold it in abeyance. Place you on 1 year Bear County Veterans Treatment Court, Track 1 pretrial diversion probation. It says that your $1,000 all-inclusive VTC fee, 48 hours of community service, probating all that based on your military service. Let's see. State, what else do we got on this? This is DWI conditions, right? DWI ed?
Yeah, it's just the standard stuff.
VA, are you eligible for VA assistance at this time, Ms. Blackwell?
Yes, I do get VA assistance.
Wonderful. Outpatient drug evaluation and follow-on treatment from the VA if necessary. any restitution or any issues in this case that I'm unaware of, Mr. Wright?
No, Judge, just the DWI Ed, VIP Live, Smart Start Mobile for half the term, 48 hours probated.
Okay, I missed Smart Start Mobile, 1/2 the term or 6 months in a perfect world. And successful completion of ETC. Issue judge's bond. Defendant to be supervised by CSCD and VTC staff. And at this time, Ms. Blackwell, I have a document in front of me. Let me get it in front of me. Entitled, Track 1 Pretrial Intervention, was a contract by and between you and your attorney and the Bexar County Criminal District Attorney's Office. Said contract setting out all the terms and prerequisites of your successful completion of the Veterans Treatment Court. This document purports to have both your signature and your attorney's signature. Is your signature on this document, Ms. Blackwell?
Yes, sir.
And Mr. Finch, is your signature on this document?
Yes, Judge.
And apparently I have the signature of Mr. Nicholas Maru, who was a previous Assistant Criminal District Attorney. Would that be correct, Mr. Wright?
Yes, Judge.
I don't, on the copy I have of this document, I don't see my signature or the date, but we'll make sure that that is dated today and it has my signature on it if it hadn't already been signed on Adobe Sign, etc. Okay. Anything further from the state of the defense on Ms. Blackwell?
No, Judge. I'm assuming we've done everything that we need to do at this point. I've been in touch with Mr. Whittemore and everybody else. It's been a fun process, but Ms. Blackwell is thankful for the opportunity.
Chris, anything else we need to do, or any I's need dotting or T's need crossing on this, or we got it good for you? Chris, can you hear me? Your microphone. There you go.
Yeah, we're good, Judge.
Okay, are you going to brief Ms. Blackwell on what she needs to do as soon as we're finished today?
Ron will, Judge.
Okay, Ron on to the, oh, I see Ron. We're all good. What'd you do in the military, Ms. Blackwell?
I was an ammunition storage specialist.
Wow, you'd be very popular in Special Forces.
Huh.
Did you get a chance to take a summer trip to the desert over there somewhere?
No, I didn't. I wasn't fortunate enough to have to go over there.
Okay, well, thanks for your service, and good luck on all this stuff. And if you have any questions, be sure to ask us and we'll get you squared away. Mr. Finch,
Okay.
anything on your side?
No, Judge.
Great job again. And we're out with the Ms. Blackwell. So good luck on all that, and they'll get you in process.
Thank you, Judge.
so much.
You betcha. That takes care of Mr. Oosterkamp and Ms. Blackwell. Now we've got MTRs left, I guess. In cause number, let me find it.
Real quick. Ms. Blackwell, just hang tight. I'm going to excuse myself, Judge. Y'all have a good afternoon.
Absolutely. Let's talk about Ms. Vanna's case. Is it Vanessa, I guess would be the way to pronounce that? Would that be correct? Is Mr.
It's
Vino?
Venice.
Vanna?
Venice.
All right, thank you, ma'am. I've got clause 383695, State of Texas versus Mary Venice. And this is a, stand by, first amended motion to enter adjudication of guilt and revoke community supervision. And
Right.
I also have, I guess, a newer offense. Is this 2 offenses or 1 offense? 649300 and 3695.
It's 2 separate offenses, Your Honor. One is a new offense of theft, and the other
Hello?
one is the other one is an MTR.
Okay, I got you. Well, for purposes of the record, on my, I've got consent forms on both these. We're good. State, before we get into this, did you and defense counsel, Mr. Vino, enter in an agreement with regard to a plea on the new case and the ultimate resolution of the MTR?
Yes, Judge. The state's going to recommend that she be revoked on the old theft case and JSATted. Of course, the court doesn't have to follow that. And then on the new case, we are also going to recommend a JSAT. They're both Walmart thefts.
What's going on with the MTR? So this is a case from 2012, the original MTR case,
Yes, Judge.
That's correct, Your Honor.
and the underlying offense was a theft, I guess, correct?
That's
Yes, Your Honor.
$50 to $500 on the old statute.
And apparently Ms. Vanas has several prior shoplifting and minor theft cases. That all sound right?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, before we get into this, Mr. Vino, why don't you clarify for us why Ms. Vanas deserves all this special treatment since we haven't seen her for 8 years?
Your Honor, she has been in town and easily reachable. I think this is one of these cases that fell by the wayside. What she tells me is she showed up for her first probation meeting, but her then probation officer scared her into thinking that she would not be allowed to go home unless she paid some money. So once she got out of that office, she did not want to return. Nobody reached out to her. No, there were no violation reports filed. She picked up other charges that never came up, so she thought it had been taken care of. In other words, it didn't come to mind to her. She does suffer from congestive heart failure. She's got stage 4 kidney failure. She's got high blood pressure. She's very ill, and she's got limited income. So under the circumstances, we are asking the court to JSAT her MTR. Your Honor, if we put her in jail or anywhere else, she would definitely be exposed to the COVID virus. And because she is vulnerable, she would probably suffer a lot, if not die. Let's be frank. She is limited in her movement. She is willing to abide by not picking up any new charges. But Your Honor, you know, she's got limited income, and I don't know what her circumstances are. I know that she is probably needs food. I know she needs help with her utilities. I know she needs help with her housing. So she's not in a position to be on probation or be exposed to the conditions of being put in confinement.
She apparently had the ability to go to a store and steal something on October 25th, 2020, did she not?
Your Honor, I'm sure she did, but I'm sure also that she did not wake up that morning with the intent to say, oh, I think I'll go shoplifting. I think it's for the moment, Your Honor. She is, she can't remember well. She is hungry and she does need things. And I think this is an old habit that comes from impulse. And that's one of her mechanisms of dealing with her poverty. She tells me she does not have a mental illness, but she does have all these physical ailments that make her very ill.
Okay, here's my concern. I've got 4 thefts and a failure to ID on her record. 1 theft is in front of me as a new case that was committed while she was supposedly on probation for an old theft case. She needs to go to the theft courses. You're telling me she can't do that. Is that correct?
No, Your Honor, I'm just telling you what her current conditions are.
Do I have your permission to talk to your client and ask her some questions about this?
Yes, Your Honor, of course.
Ms. Vanas, do you have
Yes.
if I don't put you in jail, apparently I have 6 months on the new case and 6 months on the motion to revoke probation to deal with, which could be a total of 1 year in jail. You don't want to do that. I don't want to do that. We just want
I
this
really don't want to do that.
to stop. It's been going on for 10 or more years. So
Yes, sir.
that being said, here's what I'm requesting information from you and your attorney on whether you are capable of doing this. If I don't put you in jail for 6 months, which is you're about this far from right now, because that's the textbook solution to your kind of situation. When people commit the same crime they're on probation for, again, you know, our hands are kind of tied on what options.
Right.
So that being said, and I need Ms. Gross's input from the supervision department. let's say for the sake of conversation that we put her on probation on the new case. And Susan, I would want her to go to whatever the most advanced anti-theft courses that we have available, which I guess is theft 2 or something with the Community Alliance for Traffic Safety probably.
Looking at it right now. Hang on, Judge. It would be a felony theft case and it costs $160.
All right, what is your income at this time, Ms. Vanas?
I'm not working. My husband is working.
Okay. It's going to, if we put you on probation, it's going to cost you whatever the fine and the court costs are. We can work all that out of our guessing. Court costs probably plus or minus $300. It's going to cost you $25 a month to be on probation. This course that I'm talking about sending you to in lieu of jail is $160 something. There may be other courses that have some costs. I don't know off the tip of my tongue what else there's going to be. Primarily, the anti-theft course is what we want you to go to hopefully change the way you think about stealing things. That's kind of where I'm coming from. Now, the attorney has represented that she's very concerned for your health, and she didn't think you would be able to successfully do the requirements of probation, which in this case and during the pandemic are basically going to be on the computer for the most part.
Okay, I can do that.
On the computer, that sort of thing. Susan, am I accurate in doing that, or is some of this opened up again? I'm not on top of what probation is doing.
Yes, most of it's going to be online. I'm not sure where Katz is with the felony theft case. Usually, in order to take the felony theft case, you have to complete the misdemeanor theft case class. So she would have to do the basic class first, and that one is currently $85.
So 160 plus 85 is what we're talking about?
Yes, Your Honor.
What does your husband do for a living, Ms. Vanas?
He works for CPS. He works at their help desk.
Okay, well, my CPS bills every month, y'all should be easily able to afford this if I were guessing. I don't know how it works exactly. All right. And what I need from you, and obviously, Mr. Vino, you're welcome to throw in here. I need an affirmation from Ms. Vanas that she's willing to do this, number one.
Yes, I am.
If she has any, I understand she had problems with the probation officer initially, which scared her or something. And was partially the reason why she didn't report for 8 years. If you have any further problem with probation or anybody else, your first call is going to be to Mr. Vino. And Mr. Vino is probably going to call me and we'll get it figured out.
Okay.
All right. Worst case scenario, if you can't get up with Mr. Vino, call my office. Do you have something to write on, Ms. Vanas?
Just a second, I do. Okay.
Our office for County Court at Law number 6 is going to be 210-335-2156. 8 years from now, I don't want you to say, gee, I didn't have anybody to call. You got me to call, okay?
Okay. Thank you.
If you can't get your lawyer or probation, you get me.
Okay.
Read the number back to me, make sure you got it.
210-335-2156.
Perfect. Okay, State, here's what I propose to do. Was she on deferred on this first case? Yes. I'm going to take away her deferred, find her guilty of the first one. Susan, do I have the authority to sentence somebody but hold the sentence in abeyance?
Sentence as in outright or as in a sanction?
Well, sanction is 30 days. I know I got that access to.
Yeah, I don't think you can do a direct sentence and hold it in abeyance. You can only.
By my reference, has 5 days jail credit on the first case. Does that sound right, Pat? Are you still with us? Is Pat on with us or not? Oh, there you are.
Yes, she has 5 days jail credit on the MTR, Your Honor.
Well, basically, we're going to JSAT the MTR, and then she's going to go on probation on the new one. And it's going to be a 1 year probation. She should easily be able to do all this stuff in 1 year. We can always extend her if we have to. Ms. Vanas, you got to step up and you got to start doing this stuff. You can't go
Yes,
hide
sir.
because we're going to find you this time.
Okay.
And I'll still have a 6-month hammer over your head to put you in jail for 6 months if that becomes necessary. And you can ask your attorney how quickly I'll do that if that becomes necessary. I'm going to give you one more chance, but it won't be 2 or 3 or 4. It'll be one more chance. Do we understand each other?
I understand.
You're willing to do that for us?
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
All good. Let's do the MTR first, Mr. Vino. This is cause number 383695, State of Texas, Mary Vanas. This is a first amended motion to enter adjudication of guilt and revoke community supervision. I'm first going to hold in front of you, Ms. Vanas, a document entitled Defendant's Consent to MTR Hearings by Video Conference, which is purportedly signed by both you and your attorney. Is this your signature on this document, ma'am?
Yes, it is.
And Mr. Vino, is this your signature on this document?
Yes, sir.
Okay. The second document I have in this case is a trial court certification of defendant's right of appeal, which is marked is an adjudication of guilt following a deferred adjudication. The defendant has a limited right of appeal. This purports also to have both Ms. Vanas and Mr. Vino's signature. Is this your signature on this document, Ms. Vanas?
Yes.
And Mr. Vino, would this be your signature on this document?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. My understanding is this is an uncontested motion to revoke probation. Representing the state will be Mr. Jeffrey Wright. Representing the Bexar County CSCD is Ms. Susan Gross, who I will swear at this time. Ms. Gross, please raise your right hand. Do you swear the testimony you're about to give to be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, sir, I do.
Thank you. Ms. Vanas, on the motion to enter adjudication of guilt and revoke community supervision, how do you plead, ma'am?
No contest?
All right, it would either be true or not true. Are these all true?
Okay. True.
All right. Ms. Gross, would you please advise the parties and the court what the status of Ms. Vanas' probation is?
Yes, Your Honor. Ms. Vanas has performed very poorly on probation in that she only reported one time, which was on April 13th of 2012. She's made no effort to make any payments, has a balance of $1,037. We have no proof of doing any of her 24 hours of community service. We have no proof of enrollment or completion of a theft class. She has 3 prior theft arrests, which I believe were all taken into consideration on this original plea. She also has a failure to identify. And then she also has a new arrest for theft 100 to 750 here in Bexar County. Due to the defendant's great non-compliance and lack of effort, we are recommending that her probation be revoked and that she not be placed back on probation.
All right, Ms. Gross, 2 questions. If this is a deferred adjudication probation, don't I have the authority to find her guilty and start her back on probation on this case also?
Yes, Your Honor, you do.
Bingo, then we're doing really good. Okay. So, Mr. Vino, what I have in mind is taking away her deferred on this case, keeping her on probation on this case, running this case and the new case concurrent. So everything she does on one case is going to count on the other case. Every dollar she pays on one case counts on the other case. But it gives me a bigger hammer over Ms. Vanas' head. So she understands now I have a year hammer instead of 6-month hammer.
Right.
So, is that okay with you, Mr. Vino?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, is that okay with you, Ms. Vanas?
Yes.
We want you to do good, but I want you to understand that it's not going to be pleasant if you don't do good, right?
Yes.
Thank you, ma'am. All good. Okay. State, what's your recommendation on Ms. Vanas?
I guess we're gonna go with granting the state's motion, finding her guilty and putting her on regular probation, right?
Right. And defense, do you have any other requests other than what we've talked about?
Well, Your Honor, can we abate some of that money that she's going to owe, especially on the balance? I mean, she's on limited income.
I understand that. We're going to run both these cases concurrent on monies and community service and programs and anything else. So theoretically, it's not really going to cost her any more money with two cases than it was with one. She hadn't paid anything anyway yet. So bottom line is, if she can't afford to pay money, she can do extra community service hours at $10 an hour, and we'll work it out that way. Would that be equitable to the defense, Mr. Trevino?
If she can do it, Your Honor, as long as it's something she can do, given her physical ailments, I have no problem with whatever the court chooses to recommend for her.
My understanding is there are things that you can do online that actually allow for community service these days.
Oh, that would be perfect.
Susan would be on top of that more than me, and she can explain that to Ms. Vanas when we get there. Okay. So, at this time, Ms. Vanas, the court accepts your plea of true to all conditions on the motion to enter adjudication of guilt and revoke community supervision. I grant the state's motion. I revoke your deferred adjudication probation. I adjudicate you guilty of the offense of, and it was this theft 100 to 750, Susan, or what was the actual offense early on?
50 to 500.
50 to 500, Class B. So I
Thank
find
you,
you
Jeffrey.
guilty. I find you guilty of the offense of theft, $50 to $500. I'm putting you on regular probation for 1 year. I'm gonna run it concurrent with the new case, which cause number is 649300. Credit for anything done, which I don't think is anything, or any money's paid, which I don't think is any. Okay, Susan, what else do we need to do in this case before we go to the next case?
What was her fine amount and what exact sanctions are you going to issue?
See, here we go. What was the original fine amount?
$250.
$350?
$250.
$250. How many hours of community service hours was she assessed?
She was originally ordered to do 24 hours of community service.
24?
Yes,
And the ATSE program, I'm guessing?
yes.
And what is the felony theft program called?
Felony theft program.
So it's the felony theft program? All right. I assess 6 months in the Bexar County Jail, probated for 1 year. Run concurrent with 649300, a $250 fine plus court cost, 24 hours community service, ATSE anti-theft course, Community Alliance for Traffic Safety felony theft course, credit for any monies paid or programs done. Susan, what did I miss on this one?
That's all, Your Honor.
Nate, what did I miss on this one?
That's it, Judge.
Mr. Vino, what did I miss on this one?
Nothing, Your Honor, we're ready.
That takes care of this one. Congratulations, Ms. you're not going to jail today. That was a joke. You're doing good.
Your Honor, this is the only matter I have on your docket today. May I be excused?
Well, we have
Okay,
the,
Your Honor, I need to ask Susan a question.
Sure.
Since she was revoked and placed on regular probation, does she need 2 separate applications?
Yes,
Okay,
2 applications, 1 data sheet.
thank you. Mr. Vina, I'm going to be sending you another application, probation application that needs to be filled out.
No problem.
Okay, but can you also send it to her, because she's the
Yes.
one with the
Yes,
information,
ma'am.
not me.
It'll go from you to her and then to probation. Mhm.
All right, that's on the old case, the MTR case. At this point in time, Mr. Vino, we're going to take up the new case. This is cause 649300, State of Texas versus Mary Vanas. Ms. Vanas, on this case, I have a document in front of me entitled Defendant's Consent to Plea by Video Conference, which purports to have your signature and your attorney's signature on it. Is this your signature on this document, Ms. Vanas?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Trevino, is this your signature on this document?
Yes, sir.
Thank you. Ms. Vanas, I'm now holding in front of you a document entitled Defendant's Waiver of Constitutional Rights and Court's Admonitions that purports to have your signature on the back, effectively waiving certain constitutional rights you must waive in order to enter a plea before this court. In fact, ma'am, is this your signature on the back of this document?
Yes, sir.
By signing this document, are you telling me that you've had enough time to either read this document or have it read to you in its entirety? If you had any questions about what was on this document, those questions were answered to your satisfaction by your attorney, Mr. Trevino, so that in signing this document, you're telling me that you agree with and understand everything on this document. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Trevino, as attorney for Ms. Vanas, have you had enough time to go over this case with her? And in your opinion, is she mentally competent?
Yes, sir.
Thank you. Ms. Vanas, are you a United States citizen, ma'am?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Trevino, has the state fully complied with discovery for you on this case?
Yes, sir.
Okay, and this case is a theft, what, 50 to 500 again?
100 to 750.
Ms. Vanas, in cause number 649300 to the charge of theft, $100 to $750. How do you plead, ma'am?
Do I plead true or not true?
It'd be guilty or no contest.
Okay, no contest.
All right. Court accepts the plea of no contest to the offense of theft, $100 to $750. State recommendation?
Well, Judge, I had agreed with defense to JSAT it, but I mean, if I don't know if y'all wanted to do something different.
I'm going to put her on probation on both cases with everything running concurrent. And what that effectively does is give me a 1-year hammer over her head instead of a 6-month hammer to give her more motivation to successfully complete all this.
So, I mean, it's up to Ms. Trevino if she wants to do
Your
it.
Honor, yes. Okay, I want my client to understand that you just changed the plea and she's obviously agreed to it, but that you changed the plea and she's not getting a JSAT on either one of these cases, and she's going back on probation on both these cases.
Let me try to clarify that for Ms. Vanas, and then Ms. Vanas, if you have questions for your attorney, we can go from there. What is happening is I am not bound by any agreement your attorney and the state may have previously made. So I'm not rejecting their agreement in whole because I'm not sending you to jail. I didn't revoke you on the first case, and I'm not going to send you in jail on this case. I'm going to put you on probation on both cases. So that being said, in effect, the real effect is it just gives me 2 6-month sentences, which I can stack one on top of another if you don't do well, and we have to actually ultimately revoke you and put you in jail. That's the ultimate real effect. Otherwise, it'll be, whether you're on probation for 1 or 2 cases, it's going to cost you the same. It's going to be the same in the same program. Ms. Trevino, do you agree with what I have just stated to Ms. Vanas?
Yes, Your Honor. That I just wanted for her to be sure she understood what was going on.
I understood. So, Ms. Vanas, is that agreeable to you at this time?
Yes, it is, sir.
Fair enough. So, the court accepts your plea of no contest to the offense of theft, $100 to $750, and cause 383695.
649300, Judge.
Is it a different one? I'm sorry. 649300.
Yes, Your Honor.
I apologize. In clause 649300, the court accepts your plea of no contest to the offense of theft, $100 to $750. I find you guilty. I said 6 months in the Bexar County Jail, probated for 1 year, a $250 fine plus court costs, 24 hours community service, the ATSE, the Community Alliance for Traffic Safety felony theft course, no contact with Walmart. Both these stores were Walmart that were the victims. Is that correct?
Yes, Judge.
So no contact with Walmart stores on either one, meaning you can't go to Walmart till we get all this resolved. Okay, Susan, we've got same fine, same community service hours, same ATSE, same felony theft, same no contact with Walmart. What did I miss, Susan?
I believe that covers it all, Your Honor.
Okay, go CC with the other case, which is 383695. And that's all I got, unless somebody's come up with something else we're doing. Basically, she's on probation for both cases. She's got exactly the same requirements under both cases. They're running concurrent, so any program she does for one counts for the other. Any dollar she spends on one counts for the other. Ms. Venice, do you have any questions on what we're doing at this time?
No, sir.
Okay. Ms. Trevino, is there anything further you'd like to add?
No, sir.
All right, excellent job, Ms. Trevino. You know me. You know how quickly I would have put her in jail if you had to intervene.
Thank
Judge,
you.
Yeah.
I just need to give her some instructions, Ms. Vanis.
Yes.
He will be in touch with you within the next 48 hours in regards to getting your conditions of probation signed. If
Okay.
you don't hear from anybody by 5 o'clock on Monday,
Yeah.
Tuesday morning, you need to call the probation department. I'm going to give you two separate numbers.
Okay.
Number for
I
intake.
can't hear you at all. I'm sorry.
The main number for intake is 210-335-7200. Ask for intake. Tell them
Could you repeat the last four? I'm sorry.
7200.
Okay.
And ask for intake and let them know that you were placed on probation today and
Mhm.
you need to see about signing your paperwork. Okay, it is up to
Okay.
you to follow up and make sure that your paperwork gets signed. Okay,
Okay.
your new probation officer, I'm going to give you her name and her telephone number as well.
Okay. Okay.
Her name is Teresa. My name
Mhm.
MAINEZ.
I'm sorry that cut out. I'm sorry. MAINEZ.
My
Okay.
and her phone number is 210
Mm-hmm.
335 7339.
Okay.
And you can also reach out to her about if you don't hear anything in regards to signing your conditions of probation. Okay.
Okay. Okay.
All right, I'm done.
All right, Susan, I don't need to give her a time and place report probation. You've already taken care of that. Is that correct?
That's what I just went over with her, Your Honor.
Last chance, Ms. Vanis, any further questions?
No, sir.
Good luck, ma'am. We want you to do good. Don't let us down.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, counsel. You're dismissed finally. Great
Thank you,
job.
Your Honor. Thank you.
Okay, Ray, are you ready on Mr. Olivares?
Yes, Judge.
Before we get into this, he has two new cases. Were you able to talk to the state and maybe resolve those, or are those still going to be pending?
Yes, Judge. I think we have an agreement for jail time on the MTR, and the state's going to TIC those two other ones.
Okay, how much jail time are we talking?
90 days credit for time served. And my client is asking for a few weeks, to 2 to 4 weeks, to get his affairs in order before he would report in and serve the sentence.
It's going to be Monday. It's not going to be 3 or 4 weeks.
Okay, Judge. Whatever. He understands that. He understands that.
That's a incredible defense job if the state agreed to that. State, did you agree to that? That's incredible. What a wimpy state prosecutor we have. All a joke. All a joke. All right. So is that agreeable to the state?
Yes, Judge. I'm going to TIC the new cases once we're done with the MTR.
All right. Fair enough. I'll go along with that agreement. This is cause number 627244. State of Texas versus Joseph Philip Olivares. This is a first amended motion to enter adjudication of guilt and revoke community supervision. Mr. Olivares, first document I need you to identify for me is entitled Defendant's Consent to MTR Hearing by Video Conference, which is a document allegedly signed both by you and your attorney. Is this your signature on this document, sir?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And on my copy, I don't see what I would call an actual signature. It looks like a number 7 or something. I don't, maybe that may be Mr. Olivares' signature for all I know, but Pat, we just need to make sure that this has an actual signature on the original.
Yes,
And
Your Honor.
then, Mr. Lopez, is this your signature on this document, sir?
Yes, Judge.
All right, thank you. The next document I have for you to identify, Mr. Olivares, is a document entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Right of Appeal, which is marked as an adjudication of guilt following a deferred adjudication, and the defendant has a limited right of appeal. This document also purports to have your signature and your attorney's signature. Is this your signature on this document, Mr. Olivares?
Yes, sir.
And once again, Mr. Lopez, is your signature on this document?
It is, Your Honor.
Okay, on the motion to enter adjudication of guilt and revoke committee supervision, my understanding is this is an uncontested motion to revoke. On this motion to enter adjudication of guilt and revoke committee supervision, how does Mr. Olivares plead?
Sure.
And Susan, would you please, remind you, you're still under oath, and would you please advise the court and the parties of the status of Mr. Olivares' probation?
Susan, you're on mute.
Susan still with us?
She's on
Yes, sorry, Judge, I forgot to take it off of mute. His reporting has been fair. He had 2 misses. We last saw him on October 29th of 2020. He is paid in full. He did not complete any of his 48 hours of community service. He was ordered to get his Smart Start mobile on June 24th, 2020, and it appears that he never did obtain that device. He failed to submit 3 occasions for drug testing. He had 1 diluted drug test and 1 negative. He was ordered to do weekly report in UA, and he did successfully complete that. However, he did not complete a stress class as he was ordered to do so. His case is set to expire tomorrow. He has a criminal history of an arrest for theft 50 to 500 and a criminal trespass, which was originally taken into consideration. He has 2 new arrests for resisting arrest and failure to ID, and the probation department is recommending revocation.
State recommendation?
State recommends that you grant the state's motion, find the defendant guilty, and sentence him to 90 days in the Bexar County Jail. And we are going to take into consideration 649-466 and 649-467. And I sent you those dismissals on a Adobe sign.
Okay. And Mr. Lopez, are you in agreement with that?
Yes, Your Honor. Again, we would ask for a credit for time served. I believe he's had 5 days on this case. He would also ask to give time to report in. And he also inquired if he would be eligible. He would like to participate in the work release program if that's an option to him.
They don't have a current work release program. They modified it due to the pandemic, and their current work release program is people stay at home and go to work. So I'm not going along with that. If they had an actual work release program, I would be happy to talk to you about it, where you actually spend a night in the jail and then works during the day. If that changes and they come back to that at some future point, I'll be happy to take a look at that. I think it's going to be over by the time they get that going, but I would certainly consider that under the old definition of work release, not the new definition. Fair enough?
Understood, Judge.
Okay. Mr. Olivares, in clause 627244, the court accepts your plea of true to all conditions on the motion to revoke probation with an explanation. I grant the state's motion to revoke your deferred adjudication probation, adjudicate you guilty of the offense of resisting arrest or search. I sentence you to 90 days in the Bexar County Jail, assess a $2,000 fine plus court cost, credit for time served, time and money to run concurrent. Taking into consideration clause 649-466 and 649-467, which are granted, they shall be dismissed. You report to the Bexar County Jail by 9 a.m. on November 23rd, 2020, which is this coming Monday. Anything further from the state of the defense on Mr. Olivares?
Nothing further.
No, Your Honor.
Mr. Olivares, thank your lawyer, because I was this close to putting you in jail for a year. Okay, sir?
Yes, sir. Thank you, Judge.
Best of luck.
Thank you, Judge. May we be excused?
You bet. Good job, Ray. Okay, next case I have two cases on Mr. Rodriguez. I've got a clause 406744 and 469635. State of Texas versus Oscar Valdemar Rodriguez. And who's the attorney on these cases? I'm sorry.
Myself, Oscar Hernandez.
Ah, hello, Oscar Hernandez.
I hope that's a good
Mr. Hernandez, did you have a chance to talk with the state with the possibility of coming up with an agreement on these cases that I may or may not follow?
Judge, we're hoping you do follow it. And yes, we have an agreement, Your Honor.
What is that agreement, if you wouldn't mind stating it for us?
Myself? Okay. Your Honor, respectfully, we are asking the court to revoke Mr. Rodriguez on both the motions to revoke and terminate him unsat. We'd like the court to place him on 1 year probation on a new UCW, $500 fine, court cost, 60 hours of community service, the APSE class, APSE, and the DWI Ed. There's a request to forfeit the weapon and regular UAs, Your Honor.
And Judge, I threw in the DWI Ed on the new case because that's the thing that he didn't complete on probation. So we're just starting him over on the UCW, and I'm just tacking on what he didn't finish on his DWI. And then the POM has already been dismissed, his new POM. So it's just one open case.
Okay. What kind of weapon is this we're talking about, Mr. Hernandez?
A very nice 380 Ruger, Your Honor, should you be inclined.
LCP, I'm guessing, probably. The $250 gun. In lieu of destroying this, Mr. Hernandez, would you accept it as additional attorney's fees not to be returned to the defendant, his family, or his friends?
Yes, Your Honor, and I have previously explained that to my client. He's agreement to it.
Gun, I'll give it to your attorney.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, we'll do that at the appropriate time. Let's start with this one. Cause 469635. DW1. All right, so basically these two cases, one is a DWI, the other is a POM, is that correct?
Yes, Judge.
Yes, sir.
And two cases, a UCW and the other POM has been dismissed.
Yes.
All right, fair enough. Okay, Mr. Rodriguez, I have two cases in front of me. One is cause 406744, one is cause 469635. Both have documents that I need you to identify for me. In both cases, I have a document entitled Defense Consent to MTR Hearing by Video Conference, which is purportedly signed both by you and by Mr. Hernandez, your attorney. On both these cases, on the defendant's consent to MTR hearing by video conference, Mr. Rodriguez, are these your signatures on each of these documents?
Yes, sir, they are.
Mr. Hernandez, are these your signatures on each of these documents?
Yes, Your Honor.
The second document I have is entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Right of Appeal. And both are marked as a revocation of the defendant's community supervision, and the defendant has a right to appeal the court's actions revoking the community supervision, but not the underlying conviction. Both of these also allegedly have both Mr. Rodriguez's signature and Mr. Hernandez's signature. Is this your signature on both these documents, Mr. Rodriguez?
Yes, sir, it is.
Thank you. Your signature on both these documents, Mr. Hernandez.
It is, Your Honor.
And we have two MTRs. Both these MTRs are uncontested. Is that correct, Mr. Hernandez?
With explanations, yes, sir.
Okay, in cause 406744, on the motion to revoke community supervision, how does the defendant plead?
No contest.
Either true or not true?
True, sir. True, sir. Sorry about that.
No problem. And state, would you restate the agreement for the court, please?
So on 406-744 and on 469-635, the state would request the court to grant the state's motion and revoke the defendant's probation and terminate both of them unsatisfactorily. And because we want to put him on regular probation on 649-583.
Do I have,
Either, we're gonna do one or the other. We can revoke or we can terminate on SAP, but you can't do both.
well, I can do JSATs on them. They, you have at least 1 day in jail on each one, do they not? Wouldn't that be
Correct.
Hernandez, and that get the same effect for the defense that you're looking for?
Yes, it is, Your Honor. He's got 30 and 27 days, I believe. But yes, Your Honor.
I have not received plea paperwork on the new case. What's the status of that?
Whether you're going to accept the initial part of our agreement, Your Honor, and then we can move forward on the plea. But it's all agreed to. We're just respectfully asking you to follow it.
Okay, how long does it take us to do the plea paperwork?
Your Honor, I wasn't aware. I would have sent plea paperwork earlier like I did with Miss Van Ness. But I can send it right now and you can just make note of it, I guess, or.
For purposes of the record, we're going to follow Mr. Hernandez's suggestion. Normally, we would have the plea entered first and do the MTRs, and it would all be done. Under the circumstances and the pandemic and the issues of having to do all this by computer, it is the court's understanding that the state and the defense have an agreement. I modified it by saying we're going to do a JSAT on each one. Mr. Rodriguez is going to get revoked on both the MTRs. He's got at least 1 day in jail and maybe more, and whatever it is, the court is going to do a JSAT on those two cases, so they'll be completely resolved. Then within, say, by Friday at 5 o'clock, somewhere in there, we'll have the plea entered, and that gives the defense time to do the paperwork and whatnot, and just get with Miss Benavides, and she'll set up a time for a plea. I would like to do it this week. Anytime is fine with me. Pat, can we do that? Can we have something set on Friday morning anyway?
Your Honor, if I can do this, as soon as we get off, I can send them the paperwork. If they do the paperwork, then we have a Zoom hearing tomorrow at 10 if Mr. Hernandez is available.
Will that work for you, Mr. Hernandez?
Well, I'm checking right now, Judge. I've got a Zoom. Tomorrow's Zoom is not until 11. So yes, Your Honor, if I can just do it before 10 to 11, it'd be awesome.
Is that okay with you, Mr. Rodriguez? We'll get this resolved tomorrow at 10?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay, then I will send you the Zoom as soon as we get off and the plea paperwork, and I will remind the judge to do you first, Mr. Hernandez, okay?
Greatly appreciated. Thank you.
Okay, and just the record for Mr. Hernandez and Mr. Hernandez clarification. If Mr. Rodriguez changes his mind and doesn't want to enter a plea or something, the court reserves the right to go back and start over on all these MTRs. Everybody's in agreement on that?
Yes, sir.
Understood. Absolutely.
By your agreement, and I won't break away from it. Okay, so Pat, can you tell how many days Mr. Rodriguez has in jail on each of these cases?
Your Honor, on the MTRs, he has 30 days. He has 30 days on 406-744 and 26 days on 469-635.
Okay, and do we know what the original fine amount was on 406-744?
Hang on, Judge, I'll get it for you. All right, on 406-744, the original fine was $200.
And the original fine on 469-635?
$600.
Okay, so back on the record on cause 406-744. The court accepts the defendant's plea of true to all conditions on the motion to revoke probation with an explanation. I grant the state's motion to revoke his probation. I sentence him to 90 days in the Bexar County Jail, a $200 fine plus court costs, credit for time served, time and money to run concurrent, judgment satisfied. Anything further from the state of the defense on 406-744?
No, Your Honor.
Okay, in cause 469-635, On the motion to revoke probation, how does the defendant plead?
No contest.
Does that mean true once again?
True, Your Honor. Sorry about that. Got a lot of things.
The court accepts your plea of true to all conditions on the motion to revoke probation with an explanation. I grant the state's motion to revoke your probation. I sentence you to 90 days in the Bexar County Jail, a $600 fine plus court cost. Credit for time served, time and money to run concurrent. Judgment satisfied. Anything further from the state or the defense on Mr. Rodriguez in 469-635? And one of these had, the gun's on the new case, right? There's no gun on these two. So we'll do
Guns
it.
on the new case, Judge.
All right. Anything further from the state or the defense of Mr. Rodriguez?
Nothing further.
All right.
Thank you very much, Your Honor.
Thank you, Mr. Hernandez. We'll talk to you guys tomorrow at 10 o'clock.
Thank you,
Thank
Your
you.
Honor.
Have a great day.